Yeah, I featured this guitar a few times on the site. This is the old James Nelligan Parlor that I love, and it's been on about 3 videos now. It's representative, something I wanted to talk about this morning. I often get messages from people in the chat saying, I've been looking for this guitar, I just can't find it. And it usually will be on an older video that's been up for a while. This is the one I think of the most because I've had at least 2 or 3 people say, you know, I really like the look of that and I want one, I just haven't been able to find it. So with stuff like this, like James Nelligan, the Pro Deep, the Amazon, the brands that are available on Amazon, a lot of them a lot of them sell in small batches, and you just kind of have to keep looking at Amazon, and this is probably the case on the UK and the Australian sites and the European sites as well. And they'll throw a few up, they'll sell out. They'll throw a few up, they'll sell out. And I see these appear in ones and twosies. And you just got to grab them when they come on there. And that's, unless you go to a site like Sweetwater that carries these and has many in stock, that's the way to get them. If you want them, you know, with free shipping and the, you know, 3 days kind of thing. Trying to find somebody who stocks these in a music shop is tough. A lot of these smaller brands don't really have dealerships, so you have to sort of buy them online somewhere. Occasionally you can find music stores that do stock brands like James Nelligan or Samick or something like that, Greg Bennett. But usually those are the types of things you kind of have to go and buy online and set them up yourself. So there's this first group of brands that they just put up onesies and twosies, and you just have to grab them when they come up. James Nelligan also has weird pricing that just is all over the place. So when these get posted, they're often in the 400 range, but once in a while I'll go on there and they'll be down to 250, 270, 290. You know, so you kind of have to watch them and grab them when they get low, or pay the full price. And then there are other brands that I've done, let's say 3-4 years ago, that are now gone. They've disappeared. My earliest UK boy ukuleles, I think they're still available in Asia, but I've not seen them, you know, on eBay for a while, or in the US for a while. You know, there are other guitar brands that had a little flowering, sold a small run of them. People talked about them, and then they obviously didn't renew, and they just went away. It seems like Firefly is a bit like that these days. You just can't get them. They've just sort of disappeared. I don't know if they're working on a new run. I've heard they are, so they may come back. But there are others, particularly a lot of acoustic guitar companies that have a flurry. They'll sell quite a few. You'll see them on eBay and Amazon, and then they'll just disappear. And it's either because the company didn't sell enough for it to be worthwhile and they didn't do another run, or the company merged with another company, changed the name. Who knows? Or maybe it was just a distributor that bought 100 guitars, stamped them with their name, sold them off, and then moved on to something else. There are myriad reasons why this is the case, but it happens all the time. So there will be older videos on my channel of brands that were once fluid on the market and over time have just disappeared and dried up. You might find them floating around the used market, but you will not find them in the new instrument channels. That's just the way this business is. There are lots of companies that come and go. There are lots of trialist companies that do, you know, short run stuff, and for whatever reason they don't decide to stick around, or they go out of business, or they get bought out, or they change names. You name it. There are all kinds of permutations to this sort of thing. So that's just the way it's going to be. The kind of stuff I kind of do with the budget and the intermediate market is very much now a now thing. And if you're watching videos way in the future, or my videos are way in the past, and you're watching them, chances are that they're not as available as they were at the time of making the video. And also the situation has changed. Take, for instance, the early videos I did on Cozart guitars. I remember you could get Cozart guitars on eBay for $70, $80, $90. Set them up, and you've got like a budget Strat, a Tele, or a 12-string thin line or something, for $100 and whatever dollars you put in on the setup, and it was kind of a bargain, and people were talking about it. But now I've, recently went onto eBay and looked at all the Kozart guitars. Prices have doubled, tripled. You can't get them at that rate anymore. So that was an introductory price to try and get people interested in the brand. And then as soon as they gain, a following, they slowly shut the prices up. This is happening with IYV, by the way. Their thin line spalted model that was selling for $148 on Amazon is now $181. It's shut up $40. It's happened to other brands as well. I remember the Donner Tellys and Strat copies were $99 for a long time. Now they're like $139. So at Harley Benton, prices have slightly gone up. Their shipping's gone up. So they're not quite the bargain they were a few years ago, which is why it's gone a little bit quiet, although I still think they're an incredible company, and they're offering new models that seem amazing. So the dynamics change on all these things. I'm sure that the Eric guitars will move up as they get more popular. I remember you used to be able to get the Sigma acoustics for $139 when they came out, the new Sigma line that came out on Amazon for $139. I did a video raving about that deal. Well, guess what? They're $185 now. So it was an introductory offer, get people interested in the brand, and then correct the price up to where it should be. It's still a great deal at $185. Those guitars are amazing. Some of the best entry-level acoustics that I've had on this channel in months and months and months with those Sigma Amazon models. Really good guitars. They were stupid cheap when they came out, and now they're just sort of cheap. So the dynamics of these things change over time. So the videos kind of age in different ways, and sometimes you're watching all the video of mine, you'll go, oh, you can't get it for that price anymore. What's he talking about? Well, look at the date on the video, 2016. 2017. That was what was happening back then. The market shifted. There are more competitors. Maybe companies are adding, better parts or gig bags, and they've upped their prices, or maybe they just correcting the price to where it should be in the market. They just had a really stupid introductory rate to get people interested, and then they correct their pricing as they fill out the clientele. That happens all the time. It's very normal. But it does affect, when people who are watching all the videos, things change. Some brands disappear. Some drop a whole line of things. They change their marketing. For instance, I had the Alan Eden guitars way back, the 1987 model. Great neck-through guitar. Guess what? They ain't making that anymore. It's gone. They are now concentrating solely on vintage guitar copies, Les Pauls, Telecasters, Stratocasters. They've got rid of their own shapes and models. It's sad, but that's just the case. I guess they made more money copying vintage styles, so they're going with that. They got rid of all of their acoustic guitars. They're gone. They're no longer affiliated with Ranch. They don't do those anymore. So, things change, and of course that video is now kind of obsolete unless you find something in the used market. I'm sure there's plenty of Wrench acoustics floating around the used market. So somebody might find it helpful. But obviously the dynamics have changed over time. And so, pay attention to the date of a video when you're watching it, because it's relevant to that particular time, and maybe a year or two either side of it. But obviously over time things are going to change. So I'm just going to do a video on the ever-shifting flux mutable market that is the stringed instrument business. It's just something we have to deal with. It has tides and currents. We swim with them, we swim against them, we drown, we flourish. It's choppy waters, folks, and all you can do is talk about what's relevant now and then see where it goes in the future. All right, see you on the next one. Good morrow.